Hi, I'm going to do a Norfolk type of scene. It's based very loosely on a painting by Edward Seago, painted all 50, 60 years ago probably. A great painter, great landscape painter, brilliant watercolourist. I don't think he spent more than an hour or so on any of his landscapes, his oils, the watercolours. They're so fresh and spontaneous. So I've just roughly indicated where I'm going to put some paint, some Norfolk type of houses and a bit of distance. There's not a lot of undulation in the landscape of East Anglia up in this area, but jogged my camera, jogged me technology. So there's a bit of blue in the background there, just to show a bit of distance, and just a very scrubby, grassy foreground here, and some trees, which I shall bring them over the houses, I think, just to show a bit of interest. But they will be winter trees, and we'll see how we go. Now I've wet the paper, and now going to go in with some raw sienna. I'm not going to go over the houses, just go over the foreground, and we'll have a bit of blue and a bit of cloud. Nice ultramarine. And some clouds further down. Alright, that'll do, I think. On there. See what happens to that. That'll probably merge. Alright, the paper has now started to stretch, so I'll just reclip it, clean my brush. Always have plenty of plenty of rag about to take the excess moisture off the brush, because the hake, as you now know, holds huge amounts of water to trap the unwary, so be very careful of that. Right, so just wait for the shine to go off the paper a bit. I'll put a bit of background in now, the sky colour, but quite light. A bit more blue on there. That probably would do. Now on here we've got a line of trees, bushes. So that's the distance done. Now I'll put some heavier green, but I don't want to use Payne's grey in the middle distance here. I want some nice greens, nice bluey greens, but a bit of solid colour. Because the paper's wet, you do need to thicken up the paint that you're using with a fairly dry brush. I'm using ultramarine and light and lemon yellow. vary the colours in there a little bit. This will be quite dark with shadow area here, so just right. Sort of rhododendron-y type horticulture going on here. Then as I do the foreground I can warm up, try and keep out. It's a lot of ground we're doing here, so you need to vary it. So I'm going to use quite light colours, lighter grass catching the sunlight. I will have some on the horizon there, leaving some unpainted for sparkle. Alright, let's get some darker greens in there. More detail in the foreground, and when that dries a bit we can go over the bit of heavier foliage. Burnt umber mixed with ultramarine. Good grassy colours. Angle the brush as the paper dries, it'll take more of the colour and it'll stay where you put it. I'll go over that later, but I want some dark on that horizon there. Right, while that's doing, I'll put in some trees. I'll just reclip the paper again. Right, I'm going to detail some branches, trunks in this area here. I'm using burnt umber and ultramarine. What we're going to have coming up here and here. I'll put the canopy on afterwards once I've got some of this established. Some branches going across other trunks. Try to create a randomness about it. Just coming up from where the roof is. I don't know if this is going to work. I haven't rehearsed this. I might just put some dark around the houses there and create some negative shapes. And I don't know, I might well do that. Right, let's just, oops, dry my brush a little bit and get the canopy on. Well, I'll give that a dry. And I'll strengthen up the top of the canopy because it's clashing a little bit with the cloud behind. So we can afford to go a bit darker there. Right. Let's try to do some buildings now. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch flat brush here, and the light is sort of coming from the back. So there'll be a bit of light, a light roof, so I'll do a tiled roof, but very, very light. Just a touch, just a blush of light red and raw sienna, just a touch. And then light hitting the top of this roof here. Bit darker it comes away. Right, now a roof going across there. A lot of these roofs are corrugated rusty metal. Here we'll put a slightly shadowed wall. I'm just using ultramarine and light red for this. Leave some gaps. I'll put in some shadow under the gutters there. And on this wall here we'll stone, colour of stone. I'm not painting portraits of these, I'm just putting some, just indicating, just making an impression of something going on there. Alright, that wall there is a bit in shadow, so it's a bit of raw sienna, a bit of blue, a bit of red. Chimney stacks. Right, okay. They seem to lay back quite nicely on the landscape. Well, I'll just put a bit of shadow. under there. There. I did that. Right, that'll do then. Now we're just going to shall I put some ivy stuff around there? Yeah, why not? Mix the three primaries, red, yellow, and just show those shapes here. Show some ivy as well. Right, now going to texture the foreground. So with a bit of Payne's grey, a bit of lemon yellow and a fairly dry brush, I'll just go over this and just stroke in some grass. Using all these hairs on the brush. Oops, where's my bit of cloth? I'm trying to work fast now. I'll just... Right, this is the dark bit here, and thistles, all sorts of stuff here. You hold the brush like that. It's like a sort of meadow type of effect I'm trying for. And we can have some more solid grasses and thistly bits and pieces coming up here. Bring the bristles back together again, just. Dry the brush now on the cloth. Break up the hairs. Get lots of little pinpricks, so we can just put a bit of dry brush texture over as well. Some up there. A few leaves left over from the winter. And where the paint's splattered, we'll have some birds on there. No problem. Let's give it a little signature. Right, so I'll put that in a mount and show you what it looks like, and then it's getting cold in London again, and it's cold up in my garret. Right. There we are. get a better idea in a mount as to what it looks like. It's the sort of view I like. I'm a sucker for this sort of thing. Simple trees, just simplicity, profound simplicity. It's so easy to overcomplicate these things. I'll just show you what I've done in the trees, close up, and how I've created a bit of negative shape around the light roofs and the foreground. You can make these sort of views up ad infinitum, and we can't always go out into a nice countryside. Most of us live in cities, and we have to imagine this sort of thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.